Miss Munira Rasool has made her camera on. I think she wants to speak something. Miss Munira, do you want to speak something?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Miss Munira. I would like to introduce to everyone Miss Munira. Munira ji is faculty at Jammu and Kashmir near Srinagar. So,
Yes, sir.
So how is the weather there in Srinagar right now?
Weather is little cold, not normal, but we have started school is from today, 1st March, and I am in school.
Oh, simultaneously you are doing both jobs.
Yes, sir.
Simultaneously you are doing both the jobs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you want to share something with your fellow colleagues? कुछ बात करना चाहेंगे आप सबसे कुछ बताना चाहेंगे?
Yes, sir. First of all, my good afternoon to all of you. I am Munira from J&K. I am presently working in school education department, and I am doing side by side. I am doing part-time PhD in biochemistry from IIMT University Meerut.
How are you feeling the session?
Yes. Yes, sir.
What is your opinion about the sessions which are going on?
So about NEP 2020?
Yeah, sessions which already have been delivered.
So NEP 2020
कैसा लग रहा है आपको? कैसा लग रहा है आपको? पहले आपने कोई एफडीपी ज्वाइन की है इससे पहले?
So I'm not clearly hearing anything here.
Okay. Share signal problem. चलिए कोई बात नहीं.
Yes, sir.
हमारे साथ में देख रहा हूँ डॉक्टर मिलिंद सिंह भी हैं जो एक बहुत सीनियर फैकल्टी मेंबर हैं सीसीएच यूनिवर्सिटी से. शायद सर का कैमरा दोबारा से ऑफ हो गया है. वत्सला मैम फिर शुरू कर सकती हैं आप?
Yes, sir. I think we can begin, and as and when people will find time, they'll keep joining.
Yes. Please.
Good afternoon, everyone. So the second session of day 3 is has been assigned to me by respected Dean Sir, and I'm going to speak on the topic of MOOCs. Massive open online courses. Just give me a while so that I share my presentation with you all. I believe it's visible.
Yeah, it's visible.
So a big welcome to all the participants. We're going to talk about MOOCs today and the evolution of MOOCs in this era of globalization and COVID and the pandemic that we all went through. And we'll also try to relate it with the new education policy that has been introduced in the year 2020 by the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. I am Dr. Vatsala. I am an assistant professor here in Department of Botany, School of Life Sciences and Technology, IIMT University. So whenever we think about MOOCs, so there are certain terms that come to our mind. MOOCs hai, students hai, university, online, open. So every word, MOOC is actually an acronym, and every alphabet corresponds to a word, and every word has a meaning, a detailed meaning for that matter. MOOC stands for Massive Open Online Course. Massive because it has a potential of extremely large enrollments. There is no limitation on the number of participants in any given course. There is also no limitation of number of courses for any given participant. A participant can get enrolled in as many courses of their choice as they wish to. Similarly, any course can hold as many as 30 million participants any given point of time, which is quite a massive number. So therefore, the word massive. Open, because these courses are open in the sense of enrollment as well as the sense of resources. Enrollment because there is no restriction of any sort whenever any participant wishes to enroll in any given choice, in any given course. Also, there is no restriction of stream whenever choosing a course. Suppose a person belonging to science stream wishes to opt for a course in literature per se. So they are free to join it. There is no foundation. There are no prerequisites to joining any course. And they are open also on with a point of view of resources, because a large number of different courses are available. A very large variety, very high diversity of courses are available. And there is no limitation of the kind of courses that are available. So therefore, they are open. Online is, of course, the mode of content delivery. These are distant courses. There's no classroom teaching as such. They are online. And these are considered as courses because all of these courses, all of these curriculum work in tandem with the course framework that are getting followed in different colleges and universities around the globe. So like any other course, there is a definite pattern to these MOOCs also. There is a definite enrollment phase. Then there is a teaching learning phase. Then there is also an assessment phase and the reward phase. So like any other course, there are 4 distinct phases to these courses also. Therefore, they are deemed to be, they are termed as courses. Any MOOCs has a basic philosophy of 3 A's, which is, and these 3A policy has been given by Harvard University and Oxford University laureates somewhere back in 2012, 2013. They said, we will consider any course under MOOCs if it is following these 3 A's. That is, they are available to anyone, they are available at any time, and they are available anywhere in the world. Evolution of MOOCs began in the early 2000s with the advancement of internet age. As we all know, internet became more common to us beings, normal human beings, in the early 2000s, in the 21st century. And this was the phase when the little kids, the adults, everybody got used to this internet. It became popular. And with the popularity of internet only, this mode, this online teaching learning mode also started to develop. The first MOOC was originated by University of Manitoba in Canada. This university had offered a free online course that attracted almost 2,200 learners. The very first MOOC, ladies and gentlemen, was launched in the year 2008. Thereafter, in 2011, this course continued for a whole 3 years. The initial phase of MOOCs was not very systematic, not very time-bound also. And there was no definite pattern of assessment and the result announcements also. So it took some time. Thereafter, in the year 2011, Stanford University again offered 3 courses under this MOOC scheme. And I mean, this was the first onset of the MOOCs that we are observing in today's time. These 3 courses triggered the development of e-content worldwide, and thereafter, year 2012 was declared as Year of MOOCs by various universities, various Ivy League colleges throughout the globe. and several courses by Coursera, EDX, Udacity, FutureLearn, Iversity in Germany and Spain. Many of these universities started launching their online courses under the MOOCs umbrella. EDX, of course, opened in 2013, and it became famous immediately because of the variety of courses that they offered the very first time. Earlier to this, the initial MOOCs were only offered in the disciplines of technical education as well as management. But with the onset of EDX, several courses also started getting offered in other disciplines such as sciences, basic sciences, core sciences, humanities, philosophy, literature, and many more. Thereafter, in 2013 to 2016, these MOOCs started getting opted by different governments around the world. The first government worldwide to adopt MOOCs into their curriculum framework was France, followed by China, then Jordan, Malaysia, Italy, and so on and so forth. In India, the first MOOC experiments began in the year 2012 by Dr. Gautam Shroff of Tata Consultancy Services. Dr. Gautam Shroff is the pioneer of MOOC program in India. He was also an adjunct faculty at the Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. Sir had started offering these courses in the discipline of electrical engineering as well as also correlating them with management. So this course was first time opted by several engineering as well as management laureates in India. After that, several other independent organizations such as Sunstone also came up with their indigenous MOOCs in the private sectors in the year 2012 itself. IITs were the pioneer institute that developed these indigenous MOOC courses, and it began in the year 2014. IIT Kanpur had started this project in India, followed by IIT Bombay. After that, NEPTEL, the National Program on Technical Education and Learning, was introduced in India in the year 2014 through Google Course Builder program. I'm going to discuss this in subsequent slides also. In the year 2017, the Swayam platform was launched in the country by Honorable Prime Minister of that time, Dr. Shri Narendra Modi ji. And we are going to discuss this Swayam much more in detail because this is the one program which is most prevalent in the country. Every MOOC has four basic components: syllabus, reading and visual material, learner interaction, assessment, and certification. So syllabus should include learning objectives, scope of topics, readings, discussion, assignments, quizzes, test, weekly schedule. So like every other course that we are teaching in our day-to-day lives in universities and colleges, so MOOC should also have a definite syllabus framework. They should have a definite objective that after completion of this course, the students will be able to do this, achieve that. The scope of those topics should also be clear. Most of these scopes should involve the element of entrepreneurship, skill enhancement, and such. Reading, the content should be easily understandable, should be open to discussions, and there should be definite assignments and assessment methodologies from time to time. The material of a MOOCs, since it is an open course and it is an online course, so the archived material should be available to all the participants, to all the people that are taking up this course. The archived material of a MOOCs is in two forms, XMOOC and CMOOC. And we are going to discuss this XMOOC and CMOOC in subsequent slides also. Once these XMOOC and CMOOC has been delivered to the student, all of the content should be open to interaction on open forums, such as you might come across several instances in life, since we all hail from teaching background, that sometimes a paper, in a question paper, some questions come beyond the syllabus and the students start creating hooyah that the paper was out of syllabus. And so what we do at universities and college levels is that we frame a committee that looks into these problems and they come up with a solution. So similarly, since it is an online course, so these courses should also have such kind of feedback mechanisms. For that, discussion forums were also introduced in the as a basic core component of MOOCs. And of course, assessment and certification. Any course is incomplete if there is no proper assessment and there is no proper result announcement of that course. There is no certification for that course. So these four are considered to be the most common and most important core components of a MOOC. There are two very interchangeable terms, e-content and MOOC. And often these terms are misunderstood, misinterpreted from time to time. So basically the difference between e-content and MOOC is not very difficult to understand. E-content is anything that is available on the internet, anything that we can read, be it a course, be it a book, be it any article, any research paper, anything is considered to be a MOOC. Is considered to be.
Excuse me, ma'am. I request Dr. Sandeep Bharti, to switch off their mics. Madam, please give me host rights.
It is a request to all the participants to keep their mics turned off at all times. And if at all you have a question, you are free to please raise your hands or drop a message in the chat box, and I'll be more than happy to address those questions. Dr. Subhi, shall I continue, ma'am?
Ma'am, sure, ma'am. Please start. Okay.
So e-content is anything that is available on the internet, but MOOCs, on the other hand, is a definite course, is a very systematic, organized course, which is, of course, available on the internet, but it is also associated with successful completion and certification, as well as credit transfer process. Not every e-content is MOOC, but almost all the MOOCs are e-content. So this is the basic difference between e-content and MOOCs. MOOCs are broadly of two types. They may be synchronous as well as asynchronous. And this is where the NEP 2020 becomes rational to the evolution of MOOCs. So NEP 2020 says that if a degree program is offered for a duration of 3 years, so student has the option of opting out of that course after completion of 1 year, and he will be entitled for a certificate for that course. Similarly, if any student wishes to opt out after completion of 2 years of a 3-year degree program, then he or she is entitled for a diploma certificate. And if the student is successfully able to complete all the 3 years of a 3-year degree program, then they are eligible for a degree. MOOCs also work in a similar pattern. Some of the MOOCs courses, which are extremely short-term courses, are offered only and only as synchronous courses. Because they are extremely short-term and their duration may be of up to 4 weeks, it means that 4 weeks is a very short time. And to offer a 4-week course in stages is just not possible, and it's just not feasible, since the population of the country is very vast. And I mean, it becomes a very tedious task if we offer short-term courses in asynchronous pattern or discontinuous pattern. So the synchronous courses are those which are extremely short-term courses. Their maximum duration is up to 4 weeks. And then asynchronous courses are the long-term courses or semester-bound courses. There are courses that extend over several semesters also. So it is possible for the participants to take up any MOOCs in a given semester, opt out in the next semester, and again take it up the remaining part of that MOOCs in the third semester. Suppose a student takes up a MOOCs in their odd semester, first semester, they can easily opt out during second semester and again take it up in their third semester. So this is the asynchronous pattern of MOOC. There are two types: synchronous, that goes in one go, and asynchronous, in which there are definite exit points. A student can exit at any time and enter back at any given point of time. But the only condition in asynchronous is that if a student or a faculty has joined through a certain affiliation, then the course should be completed within that affiliation period only. Suppose a student is working today, studying today with Delhi University, for example, and the student passes out after a certain amount of time, and then the student takes admission in Punjab University, Chandigarh. So it is very difficult to manage those kind of things. The student, the MOOC courses is not able to get transferred from Delhi University to Punjab University. This is the only foundation with asynchronous courses, that the affiliating institution at the time of joining of the course should also be the affiliating institution at the time of completion of course. This is the only foundation with asynchronous courses. In the previous slide, we also talked about C MOOCs and X MOOCs. These are two different types of MOOCs that are available. C MOOCs are connective, massive, open online courses. These include virtual, international, and massive space where students and faculty share and critique each other on their projects and also build community around doing so. These are, the C MOOCs is a broader term. X MOOC is extended massive open online course. It comes within the connective massive open online courses, but the extended version gives the student flexibility of like in the previous slide, I talked about the asynchronous MOOCs. So X MOOCs gives this liberty to all the participating people, be it student, be it faculty. So in a nutshell, whatever we have discussed till now, MOOCs are massive. They are open, massive because they have a variety of types: X MOOCs, C MOOCs. Open because the content is open for all. It is free of charge. The enrollment to all of these courses is almost free 90% of the times. They are affordable. If at all they are not free, then they are affordable. The registration is open. Sometimes it is open and sometimes it's not. This is something that needs to be discussed in the forthcoming slides. Local cohorts means local chapters. Some of the institutions opt to become local chapters for these MOOCs. And becoming a local chapter is highly beneficial to the faculties as well as students. And I'm going to discuss this point again in detail. A big challenge with MOOCs is that there is a large amount of dropout from these courses. The estimated dropout of online and e-learning range from 30% for non-compulsory organizational and institutional e-learning, such as courses provided by universities and companies. And from 30%, it may range up to 90%. And this is the data provided by SWAYAM. So this big dropout number is the biggest problem that is being faced while we are discussing MOOCs. But of course, there is a solution to it. There is a definite pattern that needs to be followed to overcome this problem. And several committees Several research committees have been formed to find solutions to these problems. So these committees have come up with a solution that involves an online learning engagement process. So when Swayam observed this large dropout number of students from these courses, and concern was raised that this number should be decreased as and when possible. So a committee was framed comprising of many eminent speakers throughout the country, many eminent academicians from the country. And those people, they came up with a solution. I'm so sorry. Those people, they came up with the solution of online learning engagement. And they came with 3 dimensions of online learning. There are 3 definite patterns of learning in any online course. However, this also holds true for offline courses. These 3 dimensions are cognitive engagement, emotional engagement, and behavioral engagement. Cognitive engagement is that in which the individual is focused on what they are trying to learn and committed. So everything that is mind-based, memory-based, जो भी हम याद कर रहे हैं, जो भी हम पढ़ रहे हैं, उसमें हमें कितना इंटरेस्ट आ रहा है, फैकल्टी को भी और स्टूडेंट्स को भी. Suppose I'm good at teaching physiology, so I'll take more efforts. I'll make more efforts while teaching a topic of physiology rather than molecular biology, because of course I love physiology more. So same goes for online teaching also. If there is some amount of cognitive engagement because of likingness of any certain topic, the learning becomes easier, learning becomes more interactive and interesting. Then there is a sense of emotional engagement also. Suppose I am taking up a course and I don't feel that I am reaching somewhere or I'm getting some benefit out of it. I'm not getting appreciated enough for taking this extra effort of doing an online course also. So I will tend to drop out from that course. But if that is not the case, if the situation is reversed and I feel that if I'll feel a sense of progression, if I'll feel a sense of small achievement every single day, then of course it becomes much more interesting. And my chances of dropping out from that course will decline significantly. And same holds true for every living being on this planet. If at all we are appreciated for our efforts, then we tend to continue our efforts in a positive manner. But if our efforts are neglected or unaccounted for, then we tend not to put more efforts and we tend to, slowly we will start retracting back from our, prescribed task. Then there is behavioral engagement also. So behavioral engagement is somewhat related to emotional engagement. Suppose I feel a sense of achievement after completing some amount of task that has been assigned to me. So slowly, if I'll, experience those small achievements, so small progressions, then slowly it will start becoming a habit to complete the given task in stipulated amount of time. Suppose if I talk about the Swayam courses, for example, so every Wednesday is the deadline for submission of assignments, the weekly assignments. So if in a particular week, I suppose I scored almost 80, 85, 90% or even more in the total assignment, whenever I check my course progress, then I tend to complete my next week's assignment very well in advance. But if I fail to secure a particular benchmark of marks, suppose I achieve only 55, 60% marks in a given week, then my motivation to do the assignment of next week also declines. So the emotional engagement also leads to behavioral engagement. If I feel that sense of achievement every time I do a certain amount of tasks, then it will become a habit to complete all the tasks very well in advance. So the researchers came up with these 3 dimensions: the cognitive, emotional, and behavioral. And apart from that, apart from these three dimensions, they also gave four important criteria that needs to be fulfilled whenever any online course is being taught. These include relevancy to the individual's immediate environment and issues. Whatever course a person is opting, if it is not relevant to that individual's day-to-day lifestyle and happenings, then of course the learner will tend to lose an interest. A person of humanities will not find, they may, but usually a person from a particular stream tends to find solace, tends to find comfort in their own stream rather than a distant stream. Suppose I hail from a biological background, so I would prefer taking up the courses that are relevant to my field rather than taking up courses that are relevant to, say, a civil engineer or a chemical engineer. Then there should be a level of significance. Whatever course a person is opting at a given amount of time, it should have some significance in that moment of time. Suppose if I take up a course in forestry, for example, then that should, lead to some amount of improvement, maybe in my teaching methodology. Suppose I'm taking up a course in the upcoming semester for forestry or soil health assessment. And if I take up a course similar to those topics in the Swayam portal also, then of course they have a level of significance for me, and I will tend to be more inclined towards completion of those courses. And then of course there is sense of progression and achievement. This is the most important thing whenever we talk about the open online courses. The researcher also gave the concept of gamification in relevance to online learning. So while I was preparing this presentation for today's lecture, and I was going through so much of literature and material, so this is something that really caught my sight, the impact of gamification on online learning. So a study was conducted in the year 2019, because this was the year, in 2017, Swayam was launched. And when Swayam was launched in the country, a large number of people started opting for these massive open online courses. But it was observed that only 0.3% of the people were able to complete the courses. So a committee was again set up to find the causes behind this large amount of failure that was getting observed in these open online courses. And of course, they found various reasons that were discussed in the previous slides, but they also had to come up with a solution. So the solution that they gave was the solution of gamification. And we are going to understand what this gamification process is. So this is the concept of gamification. Like any game, online game or offline game that we play, a course should also follow the same concept, especially if it is in the online mode. So there should be a definite goal of every course. Based on the goal, there should be appropriate learning. Then, depending upon this learning, there should be some skill that needs to be earned after every learning phase. If after every module, a person is not able to feel skilled, a person is not able to feel enriched, then they will not have the urge to complete that course further. So based on the goal, there should be a learning, and based on this learning, after every module, there should be some skill that has to be incorporated or enhanced or enriched in the learner. This will give them a sense of achievement. Of course, if I will feel that, yes, now I am rich with this one more concept, I know one more thing extra than the others, than my peers, then it will feel like a sense of achievement for me. This sense of achievement also, it will further challenge me. It will challenge me further to learn even more. So this challenge, this sense of self-challenge is something that a game also gives you. Suppose all of us have played those video games when we were kids, and I, of course, I'm still one who plays them. But whenever we play a video game, so once a level is reached, then it becomes easy. Next time, I will not fail in this level. But now the next level is again a challenge. So whenever there is one small achievement, so it gives you the necessary push, the necessary energy and stamina to strive for the next bigger challenge. And as and when these challenges are overcome, there is a concept of reward. In the gaming zone also, in the gaming world also, rewards are very essential. These rewards can be in various forms. They can be monetary. They can be in the form of some badge, trophies, some recognition. In the case of faculties, these rewards will further lead to competition, a positive competition among the peers. Suppose if a fellow colleague in my workplace publishes a paper in a journal of big repute, national, international repute, then I will feel that sense of competitiveness with that faculty. Not because he is doing good, but because I will feel that I should also, do something similar in the research area. I should also publish some paper, maybe in a better journal. So this is a very positive sense of competition that is arised due to this reward mechanism. And once this competitive feeling arises in as many number of people as possible, then it leads to user engagement. More and more people will come out of their comfort zone. They will start opting for these courses. And of course, the concept of gamification will hold true for every one of the engagement. There are 12 essential elements in the field of gamification. Out of these 12, some are relevant in the field of education and academics and some are not. The most relevant element of gamifications are the following. Every massive open online course, every e-course or MOOCs should have a narrative or a story. There should be a definite streamlining of the syllabus, a definite outline of the syllabus. If it is not so, then it will be very difficult to hold the thoughts of the learners to your course. If for that, every course, every massive open online course needs to be structured very efficiently, very properly. There should be rules. There should be certain rules. Like I told you sometime back, that in the Swayam portal, the assignment submission deadline is scheduled on every Wednesday at 11:55 p.m., almost midnight. So these are the rules. And these rules should be very clearly discussed, dissipated among all the learners so that a proper enforcement of these rules is also taken care of. Then there should be individual, team or group play. There are certain courses that are offered to individuals, but there are courses that are offered to teams also as team building exercises. And this is basically done in the management field and engineering. Then there should be a 3D environment that is created. A 3D environment per se means that there should be interactive sessions. There should be discussion platforms. Sometimes, suppose I am taking up a e-content, e-course, and I'm teaching, I'm training, and I'm giving all the kind of knowledge that I think is relevant. But is that level, is my level in sync with the level of the learners? That needs to be discussed from time to time. The pace of the course should be set in accordance to the learning ability of the learners. If the learners are, sometimes it happens, I mean, it happens with me as well. Whenever I'm taking up, I'm learning through any MOOCs, And if I feel that one lecture is missed or two lectures are missed, and I feel that I've lagged behind. And some other times it feels that yes, I can lead 2-3 lectures in a row, and nothing is going to matter. And so there should be a proper pacing of the course. It should not be very fast. It should not be very slow. But how to know if it is fast or it is slow will only be known to the creator once they get on these discussion platforms, on these discussion forums. So 3D environment building is extremely, extremely important. Feedback. In the next point, like we say, the player feedback. So feedback again corresponds to setting the pace of the course. Then there should be certain challenges and pressures, such as time pressure. There should be definite deadlines for all the kind of works that are getting assigned to the learners, be it assignment, be it project creation, be it any kind of submission. There should be certain deadlines. If there are no deadlines, then it sometimes like एक वो कहावत है ना कि कुछ positive stress हमेशा अच्छा ही होता है. So some certain amount of stress is required basically for a person to have optimum output. तो थोड़ा challenge, थोड़ा pressure होना भी जरूरी है. There should be synchronous communication. There should not be any barriers in the communication. There should be as many levels of communication as possible, since it is not a classroom teaching. So the content creators should be very thorough in making the communication as synchronous as possible. Synchronous communication करने के लिए बहुत सारे तरीके हैं. आप एक WhatsApp group create कर सकते हैं जिस पे आप queries को invite करें. आप एक Telegram group create कर सकते हैं. The content creator also needs to share their email IDs. You can create a website of your own. You can create a discussion forum for yourself. But ये communication बहुत synchronous होना चाहिए. And we being the faculties and the future content creators also, some of us are already in the process and some might start doing it probably after this lecture. तो अगर आप communicate नहीं कर पा रहे हैं learners के साथ, then the entire building will collapse. Nothing will come out of it. And if you're creating a course and there are no learners in your course, then it is a complete waste of time and communicative, and they respond to the queries of the learners at the earliest. So there are certain small things that needs to be taken care of when we are creating any online course. Then there should be marketplace and ability to build trade. You should the content creators should have the ability to market their courses. Suppose I have many students who are, if I feel that there are students who are maybe interested in the art of patents, the process to grant a patent, process to obtain a patent, IPR, copyright, trademark. अगर मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि मेरे आसपास there are people who are interested in those kind of things, and if I create an e-content, a MOOCs for that particular topic, तो मैं उसको एक better market दे सकती हूँ. I can attract as many learners as possible for that particular course. But if I choose to create content for a course जिसके लिए मुझे लग रहा है मेरे आसपास या मेरे सर्कल में, मेरे नोन सर्कल में ऐसे लोग ही नहीं है जो उसमें एनरोल कर सके, then it is again a complete waste of time. To know the needs of the people around you, the learners around you, it is very important to have a basic study of the marketplace that you are catering. And then once all of this is achieved, then these are some outcomes of the gamification concept, which has been observed, tried, tested. एक बारी gamification का concept establish हो जाता है, then there is of course a definite learning, there is user engagement, there is motivation to join more and more courses, Everybody feels challenged to join more and more courses because they are getting rewarded, and this reward will give them a sense of achievement. Another big question, are MOOCs really open? So again, when I was trying to create this presentation last night, and I was going on several different channels and forums, so the query that was raised most number of times was this, कि क्या ये कोर्स फ्री है? क्या हमें इसके लिए पैसे देने पड़ेंगे? क्या हमें इतने सारे ही पैसे देने पड़ेंगे? क्या इसमें कोई कटौती नहीं हो सकती है? So n number of questions, but what is the story behind it? So of course, MOOCs are open, but most MOOCs are open only in the sense of free enrollment. And as per the UGC and AICTE guidelines, it is now mandatory for all of these MOOCs channels that you can see on your screen. All of these MOOCs channels are obligated to offer free enrollment to any number of participants that wish to take up these courses. However, most of these organizations will charge you when they wish to, when the learner wishes to obtain a certificate out of it. So certification, it is paid, of course it is paid, but enrollment is of course completely free. Now, since we are faculties, so I think most of us will be interested in the art of creating MOOCs, how these MOOCs are created. So there are several steps in the creation of MOOCs, and I will discuss each of these steps in much detail. So whenever जब भी हमें कोई ऑनलाइन कोर्स डिजाइन करना है, so कुछ पॉइंट्स हैं जो हमें पता होने चाहिए. पहला पॉइंट है, there should be a goal. हमें पता होना चाहिए कि हम किस ऑब्जेक्टिव से, किस ओरिएंटेशन के साथ हम कोई कोर्स डेवलप करना चाह रहे हैं, और उस कोर्स के लिए कितने लोग हमारे आसपास, हमारी जान पहचान में अवेलेबल हैं जो उसमें इंटरेस्टेड हो सकते हैं. अगर ऐसा नहीं है, if the goal is not set, then it is just not possible to flourish those courses. And if a good goal is set, then I believe half of the battle is won then and there. Once a goal is set, then certain targets needs to be determined, that after completion of this course, the learners shall be able to do this. There should be certain targets, 4-5 targets that needs to be clearly objectified right in the beginning of the course. After that, a suitable platform needs to be selected. We being the Indian faculties and all our participants are also belonging to different Indian institutions. India का जो सबसे common और सबसे easy platform है जहाँ पे हम अपने MOOCs का creation कर सकते हैं, that is NPTEL Swayam and the Spoken Tutorial Project by IITs. These are the two basic platforms that are usually opted by Indian faculties that wish to create these MOOCs. Once a platform is selected, then it is not essential कि आप सारा का सारा content खुद ही prepare करें. You can also bring in experts from different fields. So 2, 3, 4 people can also collaborate in towards creation of any MOOCs. These experts can have multiple creative skills. हो सकता है कुछ लोग कोर्स का डिजाइन बहुत अच्छा बना सके, हो सकता है कुछ लोग इंफॉर्मेशन को असेंबल बहुत अच्छा कर सके, हो सकता है किसी के राइटिंग स्किल्स बहुत अच्छे हैं, हो सकता है किसी की डिलीवरी बहुत अच्छी है, कम्युनिकेशन बहुत स्ट्रांग है तो वो वीडियो लेक्चर बना सकते हैं, हो सकता है किसी के पास मल्टीमीडिया स्किल्स हैं तो वो उसको रिकॉर्ड कर सकते हैं. सो इसी के साथ हम पॉइंट नंबर 9 पे आ जाते हैं. और पॉइंट नंबर 9 सेज कि देयर शुड बी सम इवैल्यूएशन मेथोडोलॉजीज. अगर MOOCs में इवैल्यूएशन नहीं होगा तो MOOCs का सारा जो कॉन्सेप्ट है वो क्रम्बल कर जाएगा. तो इवैल्यूएशन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. इवैल्यूएशन करने के लिए कुछ असेसमेंट मैकेनिज्म बनाना बहुत जरूरी है, और असेसमेंट मैकेनिज्म को इस तरह से डिजाइन करना जरूरी है कि हर लेवल का लर्नर उसको समझ सके, उसको ऑप्ट कर सके. बहुत ज्यादा डिफिकल्ट एग्जाम अगर आपने सेट कर दिया, बहुत ज्यादा डिफिकल्ट असेसमेंट सेट कर दिया तो भी लर्नर्स उसको नहीं टेकअप कर पाएंगे, और अगर बहुत ज्यादा इजी, बहुत ज्यादा सिंपल अगर कर दिया तो भी उसका जो कॉन्सेप्ट है, आई डोंट थिंक दैट इज गोइंग टू बेनिफिट मच. तो एक मॉडरेट डिफिकल्टी लेवल होना किसी भी असेसमेंट के लिए बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. असेसमेंट करने के बाद फीडबैक लेना भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. अगर फीडबैक नहीं लेंगे तो हम ये जज ही नहीं कर सकते हैं कि असेसमेंट का जो लेवल था वो मॉडरेट था, इजी था, हार्ड था. सो देयर शुड बी अ डेफिनेट फीडबैक मेथड आल्सो. And after this feedback, there should be proper reiteration and refinement. जरूरी नहीं है जो MOOCs एक बार create हो जाए. There is always the scope for improvement. Once you get a feedback, you can take cognizance of those feedbacks. And next time when you launch the course again, you can you can launch a much more refined version of that course. स्वयं हम बहुत देर से बात कर रहे हैं. स्वयं is again an acronym. It stands for Study Webs of Active Learning for Young Aspiring Minds. तो स्वयं में जब भी कोई कोर्स डेवलप किया जाता है, this is specially for faculties who are wishing to create MOOCs on their own. So anybody who wishes to create a MOOC must know about these 4 quadrants. These 4 quadrants are these 11 points divided into 4 quadrants. Quadrant corresponds to one phase. जब तक आपका quadrant 1 complete नहीं होता और इसका assessment आपको स्वयं की तरफ से नहीं मिल जाता, तब तक आप quadrant 2 पे proceed करने का कोई point नहीं है. So quadrant 1 corresponds to e-tutorial या content creation. Content creation करने के बाद ये content gets submitted to the Swayam portal. The team sitting in the Swayam portal will identify this content, will assess this content, and if they deem it fit to be uploaded on the Swayam portal, then they revert through a mail, and then the MOOC creator will correspond to quadrant 2. In this quadrant 2, some written literary material needs to be created in accordance with the content created in quadrant 1. So anything, अगर कोई भी आप एक वीडियो लेक्चर क्रिएट कर रहे हैं, उसके आपको हैंडआउट्स, उसका लिटरेरी मटेरियल, सपोर्टिंग मटेरियल, एवरीथिंग नीड्स टू बी क्रिएटेड इन सिंक विद द कंटेंट क्रिएटेड इन क्वाड्रेंट 1. क्वाड्रेंट 3 में एडिशनल रिसोर्सेज भी आपको प्रोवाइड करने पड़ेंगे. जहां जहां से आपने कंटेंट अपना पिक किया है, जो भी आपके रेफरेंसेस हैं, उन सभी रेफरेंसेस को आपको क्वाड्रेंट 3 में यहाँ पे स्पेसिफाई करना होगा. एंड क्वाड्रेंट 4 इज सेल्फ असेसमेंट. आपको इसमें बहुत सारे क्विज, असाइनमेंट्स और बहुत सारी इस तरह की फीडबैक मैकेनिज्म, ये सब आपको एस्टैब्लिश करना होगा. और इन सब चीजों का रैटिफिकेशन स्वयं करता है. तो जब क्वाड्रेंट 1 कंप्लीट होके रैटिफाई हो जाता है, देन कम्स क्वाड्रेंट 2. क्वाड्रेंट 2 के रैटिफिकेशन के बाद कम्स क्वाड्रेंट 3, एंड आफ्टर दैट कम्स क्वाड्रेंट 4. इफ एनी MOOC crosses all these 4 quadrants, then that massive open online course becomes it becomes open to be uploaded on the Swayam portal. स्वयं पोर्टल पे जो मोस्ट prevalent इस टाइम कोर्सेज हैं, those are the ones that are offered by NPTEL. NPTEL stands for National Program of Technical Education and Learning. और ये जो NPTEL है, it provides an online certification which is known as NOC. NOC का क्या प्लेटफॉर्म, क्या पैटर्न है, we are going to discuss in the following slides. These are open online courses. There is content video, there are discussion forums, there are inputs from faculties and TAs, there are hangouts by different faculties, then there are assignments, and there are certification examinations. So it is a stepwise process. I'll discuss all these steps in detail. So the first thing that NPTEL demands after completion of all those 4 quadrants is that there should be a definite scheme of the course that should be uploaded on the NPTEL. जैसा कि बहुत सारे colleges, universities आज की तारीख में NIRF या NAC की रेटिंग के लिए जो लोग भी जा रहे हैं, everybody might know this concept of course outcomes, program specific outcomes. तो इसी तरह से आपको MOOCs के भी कुछ outcomes establish करने होंगे. There should be certain outcomes of every course that are getting launched on Swayam. These outcomes must be very well specified in the course introduction page. There should be, there is this icon, if you could see, about the course. All the objectives of the course must be very, very clearly mentioned under this header. Then intended audience should also be specified, that if this course is valid or if it holds good for undergraduate students or postgraduate students or maybe faculties, and what are the prerequisites. Suppose if you're introducing a course which is extremely specialized, so what are the prerequisites? A person opting for a course of cell biology should at least know what a cell is. So that comes under this prerequisite header. There should be a weekly lesson plan template that needs to be uploaded on the Swayam portal. And this is what a weekly lecture plan looks like. After every week or after every module, there should be definite assessments, and there should be a deadline of these assessments. After every assignment, there should be an open discussion forum. Suppose if a question, if it's a multiple choice assignment, and if sometimes it might happen that, learners feel that more than one options are correct. So such queries could be easily raised on these discussion forums. After the week by week progress is monitored and completed, there should be a final certification exam. That should be a proctored exam, which should be run by a partner. In the case of Swayam, these partners are NPTEL and IIT Bombay's. These proctored exams should run across various centers of the country. These proctored exams are usually paid. Like I told you earlier also, that enrollment is free, but certification is paid. So all of this is, the course creator is a part of all of this process also. ये जो फीस है, ये जो एग्जामिनेशन की फीस है, ये कितनी हो, इसमें भी कोर्स क्रिएटर का, कंटेंट क्रिएटर का से होता है. Suppose I feel that 1,000 per student is too high a fee, and my target audience is completely from a rural background, then I might request the authorities to cut down on this fees as well. ये possible है, but this is only possible if your course is opted by a large number of students. Am I audible? Anybody from the participants, if we could, I believe I'm audible to you all.
Yes, ma'am, you are fully audible.
Okay. Thank you so much. So this is another important aspect of the NPTEL, that there are different types of courses that can be created. They may be half semester courses. The duration of half semester courses is usually 20 hours. Some short-term courses of 10 hours are also offered. There are full semester courses that range up to 40 hours, and then there are complete disciplines also, engineering, science, humanities. For these, the diploma certificate is assigned to the participants. So a person who is wishing to create a MOOC can opt any of these choices that are available. This is the teacher journey map on Swayam. This is also taken up from the Swayam portal. Since MOOCs have become so prevalent, and especially during the time of pandemic, when when the entire world was under lockdown and all the schools, colleges, everything was under lockdown, but the teaching had to go on, the learning had to go on, the examinations must have been conducted. So in that, keeping that in mind, the relevance of MOOCs has become much more in the present context. But before that also, in the year 2016, the government of India had given guidelines to UGC for credit framework, for designing of credit framework for online courses through Swayam. And according to these regulations, the credit mobility of MOOCs was also made available. So any student who is taking up any MOOCs course will earn credits out of these MOOCs courses. So, and now in this NEP, the credit system, the choice-based credit system has become much more relevant and much more clearer and all the more essential for all the academic institutions. So इस सब में अब ये जो क्रेडिट का खेल है, क्योंकि हर एक चीज जो स्टूडेंट कर रहा है, वो स्पोर्ट्स कर रहा है तो उसको क्रेडिट मिलेंगे, वो एनसीसी कर रहा है तो उसको क्रेडिट मिलेंगे. सिमिलरली अब अगर कोई स्टूडेंट MOOCs में पार्टिसिपेट कर रहा है तो उसके लिए भी कुछ क्रेडिट वेटेज होना मैंडेटरी है. एंड लाइक आई हैव टोल्ड इन द प्रीवियस स्लाइड also, in this slide, so a 10-week course, a 10-hour course or a 4-week course is equivalent to 1 credit. A half semester course is equivalent to 2 credit. A full semester, the duration of a half semester course is approximately 8 weeks, and a full semester course duration is approximately 12 weeks and 40 hours of learning, and this will correspond to 1.5 credit. So since this credit transfer has also become possible with this onset of, with the introduction and onset of NEP, so therefore credibility of MOOC courses has increased much more. The UGC has given a definite credit framework for online learning courses through Swayam. And I will discuss in the following slides. It is an 8-step process. In step 1, amendments must have been made. In step 2, some courses were selected. In step 3, some courses were designed and designated to certain organizations, and in step 4 the information was disseminated. These are all those things that were in the past, but now with the onset of and imbibation of NEP, now these 7 national MOOCs coordinators have been designated in various sectors for the development and evolution of massive open online courses, which has become much more essential in the present times and present scenarios. The University Grants Commission will coordinate the MOOCs of non-technology postgraduate degree programs, for technical engineering UG and PG degree programs, Consortium for Educational Communication for non-technology undergraduation degree programs. IGNOU will give certifications and diplomas. CBSE, NCERT and NIOS will develop these MOOCs for classes 9th to 11th, IIM Bangalore for management, and NITTR for teacher training.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
हाँ जी, अस्सलाम वालेकुम. ओवर हो गया आपका कि डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया है?
So I think यहाँ signal थोड़ा सा disturbed है. And now the most important part of MOOCs that might attract the attention of all my fellow colleagues, the incentive policy for creation of these MOOCs. So UGC has excellent, I would say, outstanding incentive policies for the development of these MOOCs. The minimum amount for a 4-week course starts from 5 lakh per course, and it may range up to 15 lakh for a 12-week course. So if any faculty wishes to create a MOOC for a 4-week module pattern, then the minimum remuneration that the UGC or SWAYAM and NPTEL that gives to the creator of that course is approximately 5 lakh. If there are more than one collaborators in the creation of one course, then of course it gets divided in a similar pro rata basis. For an 8-week course, it is almost 10 lakhs, and for a 12-week course, it is 13 to 15 lakhs. So yes, there are great incentives for the creation of these MOOCs also. Thank you so much for that very lively session and patient hearing, and I rest my topic here. If anybody has any queries, then please feel free to come ahead.
Thank you, madam, for such an informative session given by you. As MOOCs are the very important part of all the curriculum, and right now I think every institute is going to be implemented MOOCs as a skill SEC courses, under the SEC courses. So the session was very informative, in which we got all the informations like whether we have to register the students, how we can register the students, and what are the courses, what is the portal from where we can get the information. So it was a very informative session. The platform is open for every kind of queries. So I think all the faculty members who are from IIMT, they must have some silly or big queries. So you all, please feel free to ask.
There is no question.
No questions, then I must say that session was very informative and all the doubts have been cleared very well during the session.
Yes, we can at least assume that.
Yeah.
No, Vatsala, you have explained it very well, and I would like to congratulate my fellow colleague for such a wonderful lecture, first of all. Second, few things I want to be sharing with the participants, that Dr. Vatsala is the coordinator of MOOCs, NAPTELs at the School of Life Sciences, and it is her tremendous efforts that in the university, we have maximum participation, maximum registrations, and maximum qualified certificates in life science college. You will be surprised to know, in the 3 years span, last 3 years, the School of Life Sciences students have qualified more than 80 MOOC courses. It is a big number. And all these efforts are with the coordinator, Dr. Vatsala Tomar. I really congratulate her. And why I am able to brief this figure, because nowadays we are going for NET preparations, and in the NET criteria there is a big importance. Other colleges are also doing well, but we are on the top. So I must congratulate the coordinator and the students also who have taken time for opting the course and then doing the assignments and other things. Thank you very much, Dr. Vatsala.
Thank you so much, sir, for those motivational words, and I'll continue to apprise everyone with the latest developments as and when I come across them. And I hope many of my fellow colleagues will today, realize the importance of development of these courses. And, this is also, from monetary point of view, even though that monetary satisfaction is very small compared to the big significant work that we are all doing of imparting education and making students shine bright. But I think if anybody wishes to contact me for that, so I am open to any kind of help that I may lend to anyone.
So please come back in the original position, which is the third lecture, today's.
Yes, sir.
Who's the
So
speaker?
Professor Seema Dhawan from HNB Garbhal will be joining us at 2 p.m. and we're looking forward to that session. And she expects all her participants to be extremely interactive. And she has specially requested that my session is going to be an interactive session, and I need my audience on their toes at all times, and I need them to be talking. So it is a request to all the participants to stay active in her session, and we'll meet at 2 p.m. now. And the link is the same that I shared in the morning, so everyone can join using the same link.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.